Gathers himself, takes a knee. That is big trouble. Wow, what a battle. And they are lighting it up on this platform. Sold out crowd, got the money's worth today.
Welcome to day 2 of Powerlifting America's Bench Press National Championships, presented by SBD. Coming to you live from the Rio Hotel, Resort and Casino in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the second session of day 2. You have the Raw Junior Lifters, 83, 93, 105, 120, and super heavyweight categories. On the line today, invites to the North American Bench Press National Championships, invites to the World Bench Press Championships. Big weights coming up today. And we're just about to kick off with the 93 kilo class here. Dylan Labrie kicking us off. 125 kilos, 275 pounds on the bar. We've got 3 lifters here in the 93 kilo class, the junior category. So the junior category is between the ages of 19 and 23. Dylan opens with an easy-looking 125 kilo lift. But what do the judges say? We're waiting for light, and it's a majority decision 2-1. The jury will take a look at it, but I'd say that probably remains as a good lift. We go to Avery Johnson, second lifter of the session, 140 kilos on the bar, 308 pounds. For his opening attempt here. $140 on the bar. We had a very exciting first session, a good battle in the junior 66 kilo category. Had some huge numbers in the 74 kilo class, including a big new national record and a shot at an unofficial world record. We're expecting to see some more exciting lifting throughout the day. On the platform, Rocky Dufort, 160 kilos on the bar for his first attempt, 352 pounds. Third attempt of the session so far. First 2 attempts were good. So we're rocking a pretty big lead so far in this weight category. Yeah, very easy. Came up real fast. That's an easy opener. The judges say it's a good lift as well. Going on to the 83 kilo class. Going to 162.5 kilos on the bar, 358 pounds. Sean Fitzgerald's going to kick it off for the 83 kilo class. And what should be pretty competitive between Sean Fitzgerald, Dawson Aaron, and Dylan Labrie, who already took his first attempt and was successful there. Yeah, nice easy opener for Sean right there. And what do the judges say? Yeah, it's a good lift. Unanimous decision. He's on the board. Christian Chatanaya Vigliotti. Opening at 165 kilos. Makes this, that puts him into the lead for the 93 kilo class. 263 pounds on the bar, 165 kilos. Real easy on the way down. Just a little hitch, hit a little bit of a sticking point about midway up. See what the judges say about it. Yeah, it's a good lift. Yeah, looks like he got called from the head judge. Potential bar dip on the way up. Looked pretty easy, maybe just a little misgroove on the way up there. But it's a good lift, 2-1. Bumped up to 170 kilos for John Norris, 374 pounds. Makes this will put him into the lead of the 93 kilo class. All good lifts so far in the first flight of session 2. Throws it right up, no problem for John. It's going to be the same weight for Gannon. He's taking the same weight, 170 kilos, 374 pounds. And while we wait for him to set up, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Bill Coyne from the land of enchantment, beautiful state of New Mexico, and your reigning open 120 kilo equipped national champion. With me today, state record holder in the Masters category in New Mexico, Jose Munoz.
Hey, Bill. Happy to be here. Bench press nationals.
We're going to take it up to 380 pounds. Bar is loaded.
All right. Can you hear me good? All right. Awesome.
So that was a good lift. Now we bump it up 2.5 kilos for Tatum Driver. This will put him in the lead with the 93 kilo class. With 380 pounds on the bar. 2 more attempts here in this first flight of session 2. Real fast down, real fast up. Judges say that's a good lift.
3 white lights.
And then we're going to bump it up for Dawson Aaron. 177.5 kilos, 391 pounds on the bar. This will put him, give him a pretty solid lead. The 83 kilo class is able to make it. And I think, let's take a second here and look back at Mr. Driver's prior attempt. Now, but a lot of controversy over the past week, Jose, about the big new technical rule that the IPF introduced, but they decided to hold off on it, and that is the use of the chest to heave the bar up on that attempt there. So, looking at Tater Driver's first attempt, if we were to have implemented it, I think that would have been a no lift, strictly speaking, by those new rules. Jose, what do you think about that?
Yeah, and it's I think that, you know, us as referees, it's going to be kind of hard to you know, interpret that rule. Maybe see in the moment. The bench press, it happens so fast. You know, the movement is so quick. It may be hard to kind of judge that. But you know, we do what we can. We call them how we see them.
A fair assessment there. So now we're going back to the top of the order. Second attempts for Dylan Larrabee, 132.5 kilos, 292 pounds.
Move nicely.
Pretty strong, smooth press there. And what did the judges say? That's a majority decision, 2-1. 2-1. We got a red from one of the side judges there. Dylan, 2 for 2 so far. And we go up to 147.5 kilos for Avery Johnson, the 93 kilo class. 325 pounds on the bar. No misses so far. Everybody is on the board so far. All good opening attempts. In the second session of day 2 with the 93s and the 83s. He gets a little push off the chest, stalls.
Yeah.
right as the triceps kicks in. So no lift. It's our first miss of this session for Avery Johnson, but he's got another attempt to come back again. I think he gets a little stronger push off of the chest there. I think he can come back and get it, Jose. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think he can get a little more pop off the chest and get it up, finish it out.
We did see one of those instances in the first session. Lifter stalled just short of lockout. On his second attempt, it came back with the same weight and got it. This is Sean Fitzgerald, 170 kilos on the bar. It's pretty smooth. That's a strong second, which for the time being will put him in a good position in the 83 kilo class. We go back to Rocky. Rocky Dufort, 170 kilograms, 374 freedom units on the bar.
Yeah, the kilo math can always be a bit complicated.
This is 10 kilos up from his last attempt. Still a bit under his PR of 182.5. Rocky, somebody who goes both ways. Both raw and equipped lifter, hit good lifts, good numbers in both styles, choosing to compete raw today. We go back to Krishna Chaitanya, 170 kilos on the bar. It's up 5 kilos from his prior attempt. No, he went 2-to-1. He had a 2-to-1 majority good lift on his first attempt. Side judges said it was good. Head judge gave him a little call for what he saw as bar dip in the first attempt. See what happens here. Smoother off the chest, but no, right. Right at that typical sticking point for the bench press. Looks like the triceps just didn't quite have it there. Again, he's got another attempt. Come back and get that 170 kilos there. We're going to bump it up. 177.5 kilos for John Norris in the junior 93 kilo category. That is a 7.5 kilo jump. As we get towards the back end of the second attempts, lifters start to jockey for position here. Real deep breath, good control down, and no problem at all. Real fast. Looked about the same as his opener. A lot of strength left in reserve there. Jose, if you're in John's shoes, how big of a jump would you take on that next attempt?
You know, definitely at least five kilos. The way that moved, I mean, I don't know what his PR is or anything, but maybe you have 7.5 there.
Yeah, I would agree. Lots of strength in reserve for John Norris there. Tayton Driver, pretty easy opener. He's going up 7.5 kilos. This is just 2.5 kilos under his personal best of 182.5 kilos, which he did back in November at the Iron Classic. Yeah, real fast at the chest, real explosive on the way back up. Still looks pretty smooth. Judges say, yeah, that's a good lift. It's another good lift right there. Real clean, real explosive.
Yeah, definitely a lot of power coming back up off the chest there.
Then we bump it up. So we're keeping it the same, rather. Same weight as the prior attempt. For Gannon Rothgeb, 180 kilos. Just a few pounds shy of 400 pounds on the bar. Yeah, real fat, yeah. Ooh, came close to racking it a little early. What did the judges say about that? Waiting for the center judge's light. And it's a good lift. He gets 2-to-1. Gets a red light from one of the side judges, but 2-to-1 is enough to get the job done. We're already at the back end of the second attempts here. Final second attempt of this second session here in the first flight. Dawson Aaron looking to take a commanding lead, 185 kilos on the bar, 407 pounds, now got over 400 pounds loaded on the bar for the first time in this session. So Dawson not only taking a commanding lead in the 83s, but he's currently ahead of all the 93 kilo lifters in the weight class above him. This is 2.5 kilos under his personal best. Real strong off the chest, a little uneven coming up, but the lockout looked even. And that's a good lift, commanding lead there for Dawson.
You know, it's not uncommon to see that uneven coming up. You know, obviously one arm is usually a little bit stronger than the other. So,
yeah, not unusual to see when you're starting to push those limit weights. There's always going to be a little bit of a discrepancy. You know, the key is going to be the arms extend evenly once you get to the top there. So you're not going to be able to fully extend one arm and then try to catch up with the other. That will be a no lift. It's going to be red lights from the judges. So kicking off the third attempts here, Dylan Labrie. Real strong. Stalls, just short of lockout. Had a real good push off of the chest, but triceps just weren't there. But 2 for 3 on the day for Dylan Labrie.
you know, and it is bench press nationals. Your third attempt, you know, push it. You know, you have something on the line here, and that's obviously the national championship. So
absolutely,
good to see him going for it.
Not just a national championship, but there are invites to continental championships, to world championships on the line here as well. This is where we saw a little confusion in the lifter order at the end of the prior session, as the lifters try to jockey for position. Fast down for Avery, gave it a little heave off the chest, but couldn't come back for that weight that he missed on his second attempt. But he was on the board. He got one good attempt in. He got his opener in at 140 kilos, so that's where he's going to finish. We bump it up back to 170 kilos for Kersna. I missed this on his second attempt. His first attempt at 165 was real smooth, so this is only a 5 kilo, 11 pound increase. Gets a little bit more power, a little bit more speed off of that chest, might be able to blast through that sticking point to come back for it. We'll see what happens here. Looking a little heavy, arms shaking a little bit there. Real good control coming down, but can't really even get it moving off of the chest, so he's going to finish with his opening attempt, 165 kilos. And then we bump it up now, 180 kilos. This is where it's going to get interesting. So far, or rather the rest of the lifters here, we got 6 more lifters, 6 more attempts here in this first flight of session 2. And the remaining lifters are all 2 for 2 going into their final attempts here. So Sean Fitzgerald bumps this up a full 10 kilos, 22 pounds from his second attempt of 170 kilos. Try to take some position here in the 83 kilo class. Real strong, real fast. Off of the chest, but not quite.
It's a good fight.
Triceps not quite there. So he will finish with a 2 for 3 day, 170 kilo, 391 pound bench press, and then we're gonna go now to Rocky, who's also successful in his second attempt with 170 kilos. And he's gonna bump it up to 182.5 kilograms rather, 402 freedom units. Now that bar is back above 400 pounds. Rocky in the 93 kilo category. First 2 attempts look real solid. See what happens here. It's fast down to the chest.
He's fighting it.
Levers it back. He's giving a real good push. Locks it out. What did the judges say?
What you call squeezing all of the toothpaste.
That's a good lift. That's a good lift.
2-1.
Great push. And way to stay with it from Rocky. So you saw what happened there. Gave it a little push off of the chest. Came straight up. And he was able to get it back into that optimal groove, back over the shoulders there, and finish it. Now, Tate and Driver, all his attempts have looked pretty easy so far. Second attempt, he looked like he had plenty of strength in reserve there. And as Jose accurately predicted, he went up just 5 kilos, 11 pounds from his prior attempt. Again, they've all looked pretty smooth so far. Looked like he has had plenty of strength in reserve on his second attempt. So now 5 kilos, 11 pounds up, 407 pounds on the bar. Real fast down, strong push.
That lift is good.
He locks it out, but what did the judges
That's a
say?
good
Yeah,
lift.
3 whites. 3 white lights, 182.5 kilos. For Tate Driver. Now we go another 2.5 kilos up. Sorry, same weight, right? This is the same weight for Gannon Rothgeb. 185 kilos.
For the silver, where are my Gannon folks at?
This is going to be a silver medal attempt. Gannon hits this, that puts him into silver medal position. Likewise, his first 2 attempts look pretty strong. Oh, blasts it right up.
Easy.
No trouble there. What do they say? Yeah, that's 3 whites. That's 3 whites right there. For the time being, that puts him into a silver medal position in his weight class there. Now we're going to bump it up 2.5 kilos for John Norris.
All the way up to the gold medal, folks.
John taking a 10-kilo jump here. 22-pound jump to 413 pounds to put himself in a gold medal position to win the 93-kilo class. Final attempt for the 93-kilo class here. Strong push back. That right arm is struggling. It's rotating a little bit. The head judge might have called a rack prematurely. What did the judges say? No lift. No lift on technicalities there. It looked like, Jose, did that look like an uneven extension to you?
It did, yeah, and you're right. I think I saw the head judge call the rack while he was still grinding it out.
Yeah, it looked like he, even though he locked it out, we had mentioned already there's that uneven extension rule. So even if the bar coming off of the chest is a little uneven, there's a discrepancy from one arm to the other. Once you get it to lock out, they have to lock evenly. So it looked like on John's final attempt there, that left arm locked out just a little bit before that right one as he was grinding it out. And even though he gave it a great attempt, a bold attempt to take that gold medal, it did not count based on the technical rules there. Good strong push there for Dawson, but not quite there. But he already had gold medal locked in for the 83-kilo class. So now, moving up to some of the heavyweight categories here. We were at the 105s, the 120s, and the super heavyweights, the unlimited class here. And again, all junior lifters here. So these are lifters between the ages of 19 to 23 years old. Later on today, session 4 is where we'll see the open men's category. I'm looking for some big benches there. A real strong opener for Jaden Vaught at 130 kilos, 286 pounds. Taking a big bump up to 162.5 kilos, 358 pounds. Gilberto Villarreal. First lifter for the 120-kilo category. That is 264 pounds of body weight.
Wearing all black.
Wearing all black and actually opening with a personal record It's not something you see very often. So Roberto opening with a 7.5 kilo PR. Real fast on the descent, real fast.
Wow.
Hard to believe that that is a personal record. Jose, how often do you see a competition personal record bench move that fast?
It's not common, that's for sure.
It's very surprising that's a personal record. 7.5 kilo personal record on his opening, not only on his opening attempt, unbelievable speed there. So I don't know if he's been sandbagging in his prior meets right there or what happened, but that did not look like a personal record. So congrats to him. That's hard to start any better than that.
Yeah, that's a lot of confidence in your training and yourself on the day of the meet. That's great. James Kellerman here, 167.5 kilo opener. Three white lights.
Yeah, good lift to temporarily put James in first place in the 105 kilo class, and then Martin Reyes is going to be the next lifter, also in the 105 kilo category. That's 231 pounds is the limit there for this weight class. 170 kilos on the bar, 374 pounds for Martin Reyes' opening attempt. Good, very strong there.
That is a good lift for Martin Reyes.
Good lift for Martin. No problem there. Next, we're going to go to Jacob Castellanos at the same weight, 170 kilos. And now Jacob in the 120 kilo class. This is the heavyweight class right here, 120 kilos. It's 264 pounds. Anything beyond that, and you are in the unlimited class. That's one of the challenges of trying to make weight or stay in the 120 kilo class, is that if you are just above 120 kilos of body weight, if you're 120.01, if you're even 1/100th of a pound over, you are potentially competing against guys that are 400 plus pounds. Can put you a little bit of a disadvantage there. Enormous body weight spreads in the super heavyweight category. He was a little uneven coming up, but is he going to get called for uneven extension? Yeah, judge. Well, the head judge says no, who usually has the best view of that. But Jose, from your perspective, did that look like uneven extension? Was he able to get that left arm caught up with the right at the top?
I think so, yeah. Was a bit uneven. But, like I said, you usually have one arm that's a little bit, maybe not as strong as the other, so it's not uncommon to see that. As long as they both catch up and there's no downward movement in the bar, then should be a good lift.
I think a very accurate assessment there. Angelo Carpino at 175 kilos, and actually going back to that, the jury said Jared's opening attempt was no good, so he will have to come back for that. Fast descent. A little heave off the chest there for Angelo, which as of right now is still an acceptable technique, and the judges agree it's 2-1. The jury will take a look at that. Anytime you've got a majority decision there, our jury will take a look at it, decide whether or not they agree with the platform decision. You get a little bit of hindsight there. You get to look at that lift again. But now we're going to Kamiar Kulahi, 175 kilos, 385 pounds in the bar, which with his attempt will put him in the lead in the 120 kilo class. Fast down, fast up. That is a beautiful looking opening attempt right there.
Very nice opener.
But 2-1, you got 2-1. 2-1, one of the side judges gave a red light there. Jose, could you tell what that red light was for?
I can't see that. Looked
got
like
a yellow card.
Yeah, it was a yellow card there.
177.5 kilos.
And as of right now, it still stands as a good lift. Now bumping it up for Adam Barris. Bumping it up to 177.5 kilos, 391 pounds in the bar. This will give him the lead in the 105 kilo class. Very smooth opener. Looks like a 3-white lift, and the judges agree. Yeah, no doubt about it, 3 whites there. Bumping up that bar another 2.5 kilos to 180. 180 kilos on the bar. It sounds like Luca Hermes has a bit of a cheering section here.
It's always nice to see the family and friends out to support.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good audience here. We've got standing room only at the moment for here in the Brasilia Ballroom at the Rio Hotel Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You know, the bench press is the most American of barbell exercises, and Jose, is there a city any more American than Las Vegas, Nevada? I think only appropriate.
I think it's definitely representative of America.
So that was a bit of a struggle there for Luca's opener. Not typically how you would want an opening attempt to look, but he did get it up, and he got a majority decision. That head judge, I think possibly for uneven extension, might have been a little bit of a bar dip. Actually, bar dip because it was a blue flag right there, blue card. The judges, or the jury rather, will take a quick look at that.
David de Guzman coming out. Looks like he was adjusting his wrist wrap when he was coming onto the platform, got called back. Since you can't make any adjustments to any of your equipment while you're on the platform. I'm sorry, with the exception of your belt.
The belt is the only thing you can't adjust, although you won't see much of those. You won't see much of that in the bench press. Always interesting to see who decides to wear a belt and who doesn't in the bench. I prefer wearing it just so you've got a little bit. Okay, we're getting a re-rack there for David, one of the side judges.
You know, certainly for raw bench press, you know, the belt is not as common, definitely in equipped. You kind of need that belt to pin down your bench press shirt, so you see it more.
So David off to a rough start. The side judges did not like where his feet were. They were saying that they were not flat on the ground, so even though he took it out of the rack and was set up to take his attempt, he did not get the down command. And subsequently timed out on his first attempt, which means that is a no lift. So a rough start for David, but he's still got 2 more attempts there. And now we bump up the bar to 190 kilos, 418 pounds for Tegan Minier.
Also opening up with a PR, it looks like.
Yeah, 2.5 kilo PR opening with. And this is something, I would say that this is not something you would see in the open category. Something you'll see more at the juniors, you know, something to take advantage of during your youth, Jose, especially if you're a competitive power lifter. If this is, it's hard to make better progress than when you're young. Your body is still full of all those natural trophic hormones, flooded with all kinds of growth factors, and this is where you can, maybe the only time in your life where you can really make those huge jumps in progress like that. Very rare to see not just somebody open, especially in the raw category with a personal record, but for it to move that quickly. We've seen 2 of those so far.
Are you implying that us old guys have to work harder for it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. 190 kilos was good there for Caleb, which is a bit under his personal best. Personal best, 235 kilos, pretty conservative, and definitely looks like he has a lot more in reserve there. Now we're bumping it up to 205 kilos for Romic Marcel Sevilla. 205 kilos, 451 pounds. This is the first of our junior super heavyweights. This is lifters over 264 pounds of body weight. This is 12.5 kilos under his PR. I would assume this is a pretty easy one for Romic, and yeah, no problem at all. Very smooth, great command of the weight there. And yeah, 3 whites, no doubt about it there. Caleb Moore and Murphy also opening at 205 kilos in the super heavyweight category. Just a chip under 452 pounds.
Let's rattle them chairs.
And this session you're seeing, it's all junior lifters between 19 to 23 years of age. We already finished up the 83 and the 93 kilo category in the first flight. Oh, what an easy opener.
Very easy.
Unlaughable.
For Caleb Moore and Murphy.
Our next lifters, Eduardo Cruz.
Eduardo Cruz.
To 457.
Opening at 207.5 kilos, 457 pounds.
120 kilo lifter.
In the 120 kilo class, in the heavyweight class.
He's fired up.
Big opener here, 207.5 kilos. This will put him into the lead, the 120 kilo class with a good lift here. Well, looks like a pretty good lift right there. What did the judges say? Yeah, 3 whites. No doubt about it. All right, now reload the bar up to over 500 pounds, 227.5 kilograms. 501.5 pounds in the heavyweights.
Bar is loaded.
This will be a huge raw bench in the open category, let alone the junior category. Huge opener for Brock Evich, 501 pounds, and he's even done more than this. This is 6.5 kilos under his PR, which he hit back in October. Yeah, looks pretty strong. What do the judges say? Yeah, 3 whites with a lot left in reserve. Looking forward to seeing some even bigger numbers there from Brock, who as of right now is in first place in the super heavyweights. But let's see what Jordan Blinko has to say about that. He bumps it up another 2.5 kilos to 507 pounds right there. Hits this, he will take the lead in the super heavyweight category. 230 kilos. Jose, 500 is a very respectable squat. These guys are benching it. So we're now seeing some guys with a strong pair of legs for arms. Oh, blows it up off of the chest. A little hitch right before lockout. What did the judges say? It's a 2-to-1 right there. It's a good lift. The jury will take a look at it, but I would guess that will stand as a good lift. So it's been an interesting flight so far. We've seen a couple of openers. Well, one opener overturned and one timeout. It's the first one we've seen so far. Jose, any predictions going into the second attempts now for the second flight?
Everyone will hit their second attempt. That's my prediction.
All right, let's see if that holds true. I would say so. Most everybody looked like they chose appropriate openers in terms of the difficulty and the speed. Yeah, so a little slower for Jaden's second attempt, but still got it up. Still pretty smooth, no sticking points there, and that's a good lift. That was up 10 kilos from his first attempt of 130 kilos right there. Jacob Castellanos. Now, Jacob got up his first attempt, and it was good on the platform. Platform judges gave him a 2-to-1. And then afterwards, the jury took another look at it and decided, no, it was not a good lift based on technical fault. So he's got to take the same weight here. So cannot take any weight off the bar. If you miss a lift, you can only take the same. At the very least, you have to take the same weight. You can increase it if you want, but you cannot go down. So this is one of the big parts of meet strategy, Jose, is picking the right opener.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's something you have to put a lot of thought to, not just in your training. Obviously, you want to shoot for a certain number, but on the day of the meet, you want to make sure that it's there too. Looks like he has the same little slowdown in the left arm going up. Judges like it, so that's 3 white lights. Jury cannot not interfere, but they can't make a decision on that lift. It's a good lift.
So that's a good lift. And Jacob is in the meet now. He's got one good lift. And as Jose said, because it was 3 whites on the platform, the jury cannot overturn that. So he's got one good lift in there.
20-kilogram PR here for Gilberto Villarreal.
Gilberto opened with the PR. It was a very easy one. Wow, look at the speed there. Hard to believe that these are personal record bench presses. Looks like sandbagging a little bit. Those prior meets right there, those are looking very easy. And hard to believe that those are personal records there. But that's a good lift for Gilberto at 175 kilos. We bump it up another 2.5 kilos to 391 pounds, 177.5 kilos for James Kellerman. This is 5 kilos down from his personal best of 182.5 kilos, which he did at last year's bench press nationals. Very smooth second attempt there.
I'd say he's probably on track for another PR today.
I would agree. Let's see what he ends up doing. He could end up shooting for something a little bit bigger to try to get into a podium position, which is something that makes these national meets that much more interesting. You know, you have a lot more, you have to really be on top of your tactics, especially if you're shooting for a podium position. We saw in the first session in the second flight, in the 66 kilo class, we had a 4-lifter competition in the 66 kilo class, and the lifter who was in 4th place could have taken a smaller jump to lock in a bronze medal position, but he took a larger jump to try to go into 2nd, but he ended up missing his 3rd, and then rather than a silver or even a bronze, he had to settle for a 4th place finish. Luca is the lifter, 182.5 kilos. In the second attempts, we've got the bar loaded to over 400 now. So likewise for Luca, he opened with the PR as well. And this will be another further PR, just 2.5 kilos up from his opener. Pretty small jump here, but he's already in a 3rd place position. Oh, not quite. No, not quite there. Barely got it off of the chest there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And a big thanks to some very competent spotters and loaders here. We've had no injuries so far at this year's bench press national championships. No misloads. Really strong spotting and loading from this group here. So David timed out on his first attempt, partly because the side judges were not happy with his foot position, said they were not flat enough, so he didn't get the star command. It ended up taking long enough to where he timed out. So we didn't even get a chance to see him move this weight at all. And now he gets the star command. He had to hold it for a while at arm's length, came straight up off of the chest. Tough groove there. It was real slow to get it back over the shoulders. Made it harder than it needed to be. And what did the judges say there? Yeah, 3 reds. And Jose, I would say if he's able to get that, close that gap between the bar and the shoulders sooner, that's going to make it for a much smoother, easier attempt.
Yeah, and it did look like the refs were a little hesitant to give him that start command. I did notice his feet are pointed out quite a bit, which could make it easier for the heels to possibly come up a little bit. But he got the command to get that press or that start command.
Yeah, it didn't look like the weight was terribly difficult, just that groove wasn't there.
Possibly holding it for so long, waiting for that, that start could.
It's also true, can really fatigue the triceps. Camiar, 10 kilos up from his prior attempt. It looked like a good lift, and he had 2 to 1, 2 to 1. Jury will take a look at, but I would assume that one stays. That remains as a good lift. Adon is our next lifter, 187.5 kilos there, 413 pounds on the bar. currently sitting in 5th place, but this will bump him up. If successful, this will put him into bronze medal position. He's currently tied for 4th place based on successful attempts with James Kellerman, but James is in the lead based on body weight. He weighed in a slightly lighter. That's a real strong off the chest, look pretty smooth. And will that put him into provisional 3rd place? It will, So that puts him, as of right now, into 3rd place in the 120 kilo class. Angelo Carpino. This will be a 10 kilogram personal record attempt, up 12.5 kilos from his opener. And now we're seeing, so this will be very interesting going into the thirds based on how the seconds go here. Angelo currently in 6th place in the 105 kilo class. If he hits this, this will bump him into 3rd place. This will demote Adon, who just hit his 2nd attempt. Angelo will be knocked up. Or sorry, this will put him, I guess it will, into the bronze medal position. Real strong off the chest. The arm's a little shaky. And did not wait for the rack command. Oh, that's hard. Oh, that's brutal to see, especially after a hard-fought attempt like that. He did get it up, but threw it right into the rack just before the head judge's rack command.
Just a reminder, you have that start command from the ref. The press, once it's motionless on the chest, and the final one, rack, you have to follow each of those commands in order to get a good lift.
And that's something I've seen really is based on your training, Jose. I've seen many lifters miss those commands because they're not really diligent about practicing them in the gym. You see so many lifters get real excited to hit that big weight, lock it out, and then throw it right into the rack without waiting for the command. And it's a terrible feeling. It's a hard thing to watch, to miss on a technicality like that. But we'll see him again for his 3rd. Again, if successful, that would have bumped him up into 3rd place, but it wasn't so.
That was a good lift for Tegan.
Tegan was in 2nd place, and that bumped him into 1st for the time being in the 105 kilo class, ahead of Caleb Jones, who hit his opener of 190 kilos. So this is still quite a bit under Caleb's PRs, 35 kilos under his personal best. Yeah, that looks pretty easy. Just 10 kilos up from his 2nd, or from his 1st rather. And that puts him back into provisional gold medal position.
115 kilos, 473 pounds for Eduardo Cruz. Bars loaded.
And I think Caleb today looks like he's really just doing whatever it takes to win his class and get that Worlds invite. Not looking to do anything big.
And that's part of the meet day strategy, you know. Have a goal. What's the easiest route to get there?
Absolutely. Always great to hit a personal record, but today there's a national championship at stake. And there are invites to the North American Bench Press Championships. Can shoot for a continental title. There's all those world championship invites on the line there, and a real smooth, strong 2nd attempt from Eduardo Cruz. And judges, he had 3 whites, no doubt about it. Real strong so far from Eduardo.
Bar is loaded, same weight, 473 for Romic Marcel Sevilla. Bar is loaded.
Romic Marcel Sevilla, 215 kilos on the bar. This is 2.5 kilos under his PR bench press. 10 kilos up from his prior attempt. If he hits this, this puts him into provisional gold medal position in the super heavyweights, but he's got 2 strong guys out ahead of him. Oh, very smooth. Excellent command of the weight there from Romic. And that is a good lift, So for the time being, that puts him into 1st place.
Bar is loaded for
Or 2nd place, rather. Puts him into 2nd place. Provisional silver medal position. Behind Jordan Blinko, who hit a huge 230 kilo opener. Gillett Moran Murphy, 15-kilo jump from his prior attempt. Still 10 kilos under his all-time personal record. Oh, real strong, very fast. Some strength in reserve there. What did the judges say? Good lift, and that puts him back in a silver medal position ahead of Romick.
Right now, we call Brock Evich.
We've got a big attempt here for Brock Evich. 237.5 kilos on the bar. Hit a real easy opener at 227.5 kilos. This will also be a 3.5 kilo PR for him. And this will be a Nebraska state record attempt for the 120 kilo.
The crowd is fired up for it.
A lot of support from the audience here. 523-pound, huge bench in the heavyweight category. Gets the start command. Fast down, fast drive up. Little hitch at the top. What are the judges going to say? No lift, no lift. Yeah, got called for a little bar dip just at lockout there. Was real strong off the chest, slowed down a little once the triceps kicked in. I think with a little bit more speed behind it, Jose, you think he can come back and get that on his third?
Yeah, we're gonna see that next attempt down at his third. I think he's got it.
It's looking like Brock has first place in the 120s locked in based on where the third attempts are going to go. No guarantees. We'll have to see how it plays out. This is the final attempt, final second attempt for the second flight here. Big bench, 523 pounds for Jordan Blinko. This will be a 7.5 kilo PR. Looks similar to Brock's, but smoother at the top. What did the judges say? Yeah, 3 whites, real strong. Huge bench for a junior lifter. And now here's where things will get interesting. This is where the tactics start to come into play as lifters jockey for positions here. So third attempts. And again, not just national championships on the line. You have invites to the North American Powerlifting Federation, bench press championships, the Continental Championships, the Continental affiliate of the International Powerlifting Federation. And then not just Continental Championship invites, you've got World Championship invites on the line here. Strong, real strong off the chest there, but got a little away from him. That's 2 for 3 for Jaden today.
Those international competitions, that would be Worlds in Poland, if that's right, and Belize City, I believe, for the North Americans.
That's what it's looking like. The relatively new Belize Powerlifting Federation, but we're looking to put themselves on the map at the continental level. I want to give a shout out to one of our Albuquerque barbell friends, Alita Sharp, who was representing the Belize Powerlifting Federation. And not quite there for Martin Reyes. That would have bumped him up from 7th into 6th place, but wasn't so. He finishes 1 for 3 on the day, hit his opener of 170 kilos, but 177.5, just a little bit too much there. We bump it up to 180 kilos for Jacob Castellanos. This will tie his PR. This will tie his personal record bench press, which he hit at Collegiate Nationals last year in April. 10 kilos up from his prior attempt. Currently in 5th place in the 120 kilo class. If he's successful here, this bumps him up into 4th place ahead of Gilberto. If you remember, he did lock out. He did get up his first attempt, but it was a 2-to-1 lift, so the jury took a look at it, and they decided it was not a good lift. Taking a while to get set there, but does get a quick start command once it's out. A real big arch there. And that right arm wants to go, but the left just not cooperating. So Jacob, at the very least, got that second attempt in. So a big mental win to come back from something like that, especially it's hard to come back from a lift that you thought was good, according to the platform judges. Then all of a sudden you look back at the board, Jose, and it's a red. So a big mental win for him to come back and get that on his second. Unfortunately, the right arm was good for 180 kilos, but the left was not. So he will finish in 5th place in the 120 kilo class. Now we're going to Luca, 182.5, 402 pounds in the bar. And gave it a little better run than his second attempt, but just not there. And only 2.5 kilos up from his opener right there. Jose, pretty rare to see that small of a jump and have it make that big of a difference in how the bar moves.
Yeah, that's true. But from personal experience, I know how that feels. It could be, the smallest jump from attempt to attempt, and one move's great, and the next one's just not there. So,
James Kellerman is lifter, 185 kilos. 2 for 2 so far. And good off of the chest, but just stalls out once the triceps kick in. Not quite there. Good day. He finished with 177.5 kilos.
I got
from his second attempt.
David coming up. He's got to get one on the board here.
This is do or die for David. It's been a tough day for David. And has really only taken one attempt. He timed out on his first attempt. Second attempt, missed on a technicality. He did get it up. It was a little, so let's see if he can come back. We talked about before, if he can clean up that groove, get it in the right groove, it should come up a lot smoother. It's fast down, and look at the difference. Look at the difference there. So it's not, obviously the strength is there, but the technique, it's a huge part of even as much of a meathead, kind of maybe you could even say low IQ lift as the bench press is. There is some nuance to it, and you can see the difference. Technique makes there from one attempt to the other. So same weight that he took on his second, that was a bit of a grind, a bit of a struggle. But man, he just found that right groove and blew it right up. So good to see David get at least one attempt in. A rough day for him, but he at least posted one good lift at 180 kilos. Now, Gilberto Villarreal, real strong second. A little heavy, but very smooth, 413 pounds. That's a good lift for Gilberto. Cam Yard's the next lifter at the same weight, 187.5 kilos there.
This will move him from 4th to 3rd place in the 120s.
Seeing some more jockeying for position here. First 2 attempts have been pretty smooth. Definitely saw a little bit more of a struggle on a second attempt, the 185 kilos. This is just a 2.5 kilo jump, but we saw already the difference that can make. Very smooth off the chest, just stalls out a little. Looked pretty smooth. What did the judges say? Oh, no lift, no lift.
3 reps.
Yellows from the side judges and a blue, a little bar dip from the head judge there. Very slight, very slight. I mean, that's the tough thing here, Jose. You've got to be so precise with the technique here to stay in compliance with the technical rules of the lifts. So even though we've seen a couple of these already, even though he did lock the weight out, there was that little dip right before, and it looked like maybe did his butt come off of the bench there as well? Did you see what the side judges saw?
No, I didn't. I'm blocked by the
hard to see from our perspective here. All right, so Angelo got this weight, another technical fault. He got up 187.5 kilos without too much of a struggle and had to fight for it a little bit, but then threw it into the rack just before the rack command. So again, he got it up, and it would have been a good lift had he just waited for that head judge's rack command. So fast down, strong push back. Yeah, just 9. You can, again, see the difference that 2.5 kilos can make there. So again, had to put up a little bit of a fight at 187.5. And then just that 2.5 kilo jump, 5.5 pound jumps. Sometimes that can be all it takes between a good lift and a missed lift there, even if that second one is pretty easy. All right, Adon making a 5 kilo jump from his second attempt, 192.5. Likewise, his lifts have all looked pretty smooth so far. Yeah, very smooth. Very smooth, great technique, great command, and that's 3 whites right there.
It's a good third attempt there.
Very strong thing. Tegan Minier is the next lifter, 207.5 kilos, 457 freedom units on the bar. Looking to jump into gold medal position ahead of Caleb Jones. Currently in second, currently tied with Caleb at 200 kilos. But Caleb looked like he's taking it pretty easy. All his attempts have been well under his personal best. A real strong push from Tegan. And what did the judges say?
Good looking lift, waiting on the lights.
Very aggressive on the.
It looked like we might have a tech issue here with one of the side judges. And that's 2-1. We're seeing 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb down from one of the side judges. So as of right now,
it's 2-1.
It is a good lift.
Now, I was going to say about Tegan, very, very aggressive on the down part of the lift. You know, you like to see that. Very fast, good speed there.
It's always tough, though, because the trade-off with speed is you have to be very precise. But on the other hand, the slower it is, the more energy you're expending in controlling the weight, which means the slower you come down, sometimes you don't get that same speed, that same stretch reflex, that rebound off of the chest, which if you notice, it's been pretty rare. We have not seen that many attempts where somebody straight up does not get it off of the chest. You usually see at least a little bit. That bar gets moving just a little bit. Thanks to either a good amount of leg drive or usually from, again, that stretch reflex from the muscles. And then either the tricep strength just isn't there or just the speed, that acceleration isn't there to blast past the sticking point, but it's pretty rare that somebody just brings it down and it doesn't go anywhere. It's partly good attempt selection, which you would expect to see at the national level. And again, it's largely some pretty good attempt selection here. We're seeing a good amount of, at the very least, 2 for 3, 3 for 3 performances. All right, we've got to stop here for a second because we're having some technical difficulties with the judges' lights here. Looks like it might be a connection issue.
So we can give a few shout-outs. You know, obviously Powerlifting America for putting on this bench press nationals. Here we got our sponsors, Avancus, Evolve, SBD, Eleiko, obviously the Rio Hotel and Casino for hosting, being a great venue. It's been a great event so far, a great weekend. You know, we've got still a lot more lifting to come, but you know, just pausing to thank everyone that helped put this together.
So Tegan's lift was actually a no lift. So initially it looked like the judges were saying a good lift 2-1. Oh. And there's the correction. The board, once we got everything squared away, was showing Tegan's third attempt as a no lift. That is, in fact, a good lift. Now, Caleb Jones was in the lead on body weight in the 105 kilo class. Tegan's third attempt put him into provisional gold medal position in the 105 kilo class. This is still quite a bit under Caleb's PR of 235 kilos. And all his attempts have looked pretty easy. This could be the difference between silver or gold here for Caleb. Real strong off the chest. Oh, but it's not there. Not there.
Give Caleb Jones a nice round of applause, folks.
So rather than settle for a tie on straight weight, he went for the outright. He went for the outright gold medal position. So he's going to have to settle for second place behind Tegan, who's going to be the 105-kilogram junior national champion. All right, now we're up into the heavyweights and the super heavyweights. Now Eduardo got up his first and second attempt. This is a 5-kilo increase from his last attempt. And all his lifts have also looked pretty smooth. See what happens here, 485 pounds. Very strong.
Very good.
Real strong. I'd say that's a good lift, and yes, the judges agree. Judges agree.
He is fired up.
We remain at 485. Bar is loaded for Romic Marcel.
Real strong there. So he is in provisional silver medal position.
To the silver. Bar is loaded.
At the very least, he is locked in a podium position. He cannot finish any lower than third at this point. But again, depending on how Romic does here, this is going to be the difference. Or sorry, Romic is 120 plus the super heavyweight. We still have, that's going to be Brock. It's the sole remaining 120. Great control down from Romic. Very smooth, staying with it. Looks like a good lift, but what did the judges say?
2-1.
Good lift, good lift. Side judge called him for a little bar dip.
But right now, Brock Evans will attempt the 5:23 for a national record once again.
Brock Evans missed this on a technicality on his second attempt. Just a slight bar dip just before a lockout. So he did get it up. We know the strength is there. We have to see if he can come back.
I think the crowd wants to see a record here.
This would be a junior national record. Huge bench for a heavyweight, regardless of the age class. That's smoother than the second. Is that a national record? It is. 3 whites. 3 whites, no doubt about it. That's a huge lift. That's your 120-kilo national champion. And what better way to finish than with a national record as well? Huge lift.
You see why he's wearing that U.S. national team singlet.
Murphy's going to go 5:29. Bar is loaded for Caleb.
Some big lifts to finish here. 5:29 on the bar. Caleb's second attempt looked pretty smooth as well.
This will move him from the bronze to the gold medal. Where are my Caleb fans at? Come on.
This will put him from silver into provisional gold if he hits this. Very fast. That looked like the easiest of his 3 attempts so far. What did the judges say?
They like
3
it.
whites. No doubt about it. All right. Last lift of the session. Jordan looking to go from silver to gold on the final attempt here. Huge raw bench, 534 pounds.
For the gold medal right here. Anybody care to see Jordan?
Big jump from his second. Real big jump to try to beat Caleb by 2.5 kilos here. Great finish to this session. Some huge benches, some back and forth on positions. Gets that star command. Good off the chest, he's staying with it. He got it up, but what do the judges say? That's a good lift. That's a good lift unless the jury says otherwise. That called for a little bar dip now. What are they going to say here? I see the jury deliberating. Looks like they're trying to decide if there was a bar dip there or not, but I see no further movement. And they're going to leave it as a good lift. What a way to finish. Some huge benches there, some back and forth on position. Real exciting session there, Jose. What would you say?
Yeah, it's very good. Good lifts. You see a little bit of everything, lifters timing out, little technical issues here and there. A lot of great lifts, obviously. Big weights being moved. Hats off to all the lifters in this session. They all did a great job.
Yeah, very exciting session there to close out the men's junior categories in the National Bench Press Championships here. So we're only halfway through the action for the day. We've already seen the men's junior lifters. Coming up in the next session is going to be the women. The women raw, sub-junior, junior, and open categories. We'll be coming up in session 3. And then we'll finish off later today. Session 4 will be all of the raw, open men categories. We're looking forward to seeing some big lifts there. We might see 2 lifters go over 600 pounds raw, which is huge. We already talked